Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom and welcome to our Biblical Hebrew podcast. In Genesis 23, the Bible tells us that Sarah, the wife of Abraham, died. In verse 2, the Bible mentions the specific place in which she died. Vatamat Sarah, and Sarah died Kiryat Arba, in the village of Four, Hebron. This is Hebron. Kiryat Arba is not just a name of a place, it also has a meaning. Kiryah, from core, the unity, like we say, the cortex, the unity of four, and the unity of four, Kiryat Arba, this is Hebron. Hebron, it means unity or friendship or connection. Chaver is a friend. Hebron is a place, mental place, in which we all unite and connected. Again, the Bible, the Torah, is Hebron. This is a spiritual realm in which everybody can meet and unite. So, Sarah died in Kiryat Arba, in the core of Four, which is Hebron. Why the Torah or the Bible is called Hebron? Because it unites everything. And what does it unite? The name of the four letters. We say that Kiryat Arba, the core of Four, is not just a name of physical place in Israel. It also has a spiritual meaning. The core of Four, Kiryat Arba, is referring to the name with the four letters, the tetragrammaton, Yod, He, Vav, He, those four letters. This is the tetragrammaton, the name of the four letters. And this is Kiryat Arba. This is the core of Four, the core of the name of God with the four letters. Kiryat Arba, where everything unites, because all the Bible, all the Torah is expansion of one name. Hebron, the uniting place, is an expression of the expansion of the name of God in four letters, the tetragrammaton. Because each verse of the Bible in Hebrew, we can open it and decode it, and we shall find the code of Four, the core Four. So Sarah died in Kiryat Arba, in the core of Four, which is Hebron. It's a unity place or uniting place, a place in which we can assemble and be together and communicate to each other. And Abraham come to the people of Chet and ask from the people of Chet to find him Ephron. Ephron is the owner of the place called Machpelah. There is a field in the city of Hebron, and in this field there is a cave called Machpelah. And since Abraham wanted to bury Sarah, his wife, in this cave, which is in this field, he asked from the people of Chet to find him Ephron ben Zohar, the owner of the field. After a short negotiation, Ephron, the owner of the field, asked from Abraham to weigh 400 shekels for the field and the cave in the field. The book of Zohar asked a very interesting question. Ephron could say any number that he wished because Abraham was willing to pay everything to bury his wife in the cave of Machpelah. Why Ephron asked 400 shekels? Why this specific number? Let's go to chapter 23 and read the relevant speech of Ephron. This is in verse 15. But let's start from 14 to have the context. Verse 14 in Hebrew. Vaya'an Ephron et Avraham le'emor lo. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, Adoni shma'eni, my Lord, listen to me. Eretz 400 shekel kesef beini uvincha. A land, and now we are cautious because whenever we find the word Eretz, is not just a land or a soil or a ground, but also a will, meaning Ephron answered to Abraham in this very unique way of speech, saying that the distance, the will, the wish of Abraham to bury Sarah in the cave of Machpelah is 400 silver weight. 400 shekel kesef. The book of Zohar says or asks, why 400? Why this number? And the proof is always in the pudding. What does it mean? The book of Zohar looks at the name Ephron and says the following. The name Ephron is written with 4 letters. Ain, Pe, Resh, Nun. Ephron. Ephron. The value of Ephron is 400. Ain equals 70. Pe equals 80. Together they make 150. Resh equals 200. Together they make 350. And Nun 50. We arrive at 400. So Ephron was asking the value of his name. Ephron equals 400, and he was asking the value of his name. This is one aspect. Another aspect is that the name Ephron comes from afar. Afar. Afar in Hebrew is dust or ashes, depends of how we look into it. What is most important that the word afar starts with the letter Ain, with the 70, with the expansion to many. So the name Ephron comes from afar, ashes or dust. In nature we have 4 elements: fire, water, air, and dust or ashes. Those 4 elements are against the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton. Fire is against the letter Yod. Water is against the first letter He from the Tetragrammaton, or the generation of Noah and the flood. The Vav is against the element of air, or the generation of the Tower of Babylon. And the last letter He is against dust or ashes, or the generation of Moses in Egypt, or the city of Hebron. We have 4 generations against the 4 letters, and also we have 4 cities in ancient Israel which are standing against those 4 letters. Against the element of fire and the letter Yod, we have the city of Jerusalem. Against the letter He and water, we have the city of Tiberia and the Lake of Galilee, which has sweet water, in which Jesus appeared and had his speeches, sweet water for the heart. And the letter Vav is against the element of air, and the letter Vav from the Tetragrammaton, the 6, is against the element of air, which is parallel to the city of Safed in the Upper Galilee, because Galil in Hebrew, Galilee in English, has a meaning of geometrical form. In Hebrew, Galil is cylinder. Cylinder is narrow and long, like the letter Vav, like the spirit. And the last letter He of the Tetragrammaton is associated with the city of Hebron and with the element of ashes or dust. So going back to the origin, Sarah died in Kiryat Arba, in the core of 4, the core of 4 letters, because the last letter He, or the foot of the last letter He of the Tetragrammaton, begins with the letter Yod. The foot of the He is the Yod that begins the Tetragrammaton. So she died Bekiryat Arba, in the core of 4, in the village of 4, He Hebron, which is the unification place of all the letters. And the fee that Ephron was asking from Abraham, which is 400, is against his name, has the value of 400. This is one element. The second element is that the value of time and space is 4. We have 4 simple fingers. Each human has 5 fingers. The thumb is the origin or the potential. If we open our hand, we see always the thumb is standing against the heavens, upwards, and the 4 simple fingers, they're going to the side of the palm. So we have 1 thumb, which is 1, and 4 simple fingers, which is the expression of our lives in space and time. 4 simple fingers, which is the expression of space and time, is the core of the 400. So, and this is interesting because when the body dies, and the body is an expression of the ashes, the body goes to the ashes, because the body is the appearance in the form. And when the time comes, the body returns to where it belongs and finds peace. So the expression of time and space is the 4. This is why Ephron is the owner of the cave, and he also asks for 400, which is, again, the symbolic aspect of time and space. So this was our little conversation about Kiryat Arba, the city of 4. Why the city of 4 is also the place of the connection, Hebron, and why does, or the price of the cave of Machpelah, the burial place, is 400 silver weight. Wishing you a beautiful day and wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to hear more about a certain topic, just write us an email to hebrew@learnoutlive.com. We are always happy to hear from you. For more episodes, videos, and articles like this, please visit our website at hebrew.learnoutlive.com. We also would like to invite you to join our live classes. Just search for Online College of Biblical Hebrew on Facebook and start learning now with students from all over the world. Koltuv and Shalom.